and he joins us live in our studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Patrick Fitzgerald described your wrongdoing as a political crime spree. As we just saw in the piece just now, he said it would make Lincoln roll over in his grave. I take it you think he's got it all wrong.
Well, not only does he have it all wrong, that's a mutilation of the truth. The facts are that the very day before I was arrested, I had instructed my chief of staff to work out the tactics on a routine political deal that would have put 500,000 people to work in Illinois, that would have expanded health care for 50,000 to 300,000 working families.
So there was no pay for play? There was no pay for play?
Not only was there no pay for play, there would have been...
At any point in your administration?
However you define that, if you're saying that there was any activity that dealt with quid pro quo, one thing for another, absolutely not with regard to my behavior, my activities.
And you did not try to sell Senator Obama's Senate?
The truth is, in hundreds of hours of tape recordings, the government, at a sensational press conference, when I was locked up in a jail cell, said what you just referred to, was stopping a crime spree before it happened. They used snippets of conversations from those private tape conversations. The big irony here is that the very accusers who said those things, who used those snippets of conversations out of context, went to court and have an order that prevent me and you from hearing all of those tapes. All of those tapes should be heard. The truth is in those tapes, and just the opposite is true. This is a story that is upside down. I was holding my nose to appoint a United States Senator as my first choice on one condition: if we can have a political deal that would put people to work, expand health care, and not raise taxes on people. We worked with Rahm Emanuel, with prominent U.S. senators, to see if we can put something together, and then it all stopped when I was falsely accused of things I didn't do. So
you're not corrupt. There is no corruption. There was never any corruption in your administration.
I have never done anything that would be a crime or even intended to be a crime. And when all of the tape conversations are heard, that will be proven to be true. I will be fully vindicated. The issue is, when will those tapes be heard? I've advocated since January for those tapes to be heard. I was hijacked from office at an impeachment trial that didn't allow me to prove my innocence. I'm the anti-Nixon, asking that these tapes be heard. My accusers are the ones who went to court and are keeping those tapes from being heard from the public. Someone's lying here.
That's
a
pretty good line. Patrick Fitzgerald is not a cowboy. He's not some wild sheriff on the street out there. The guy's a pretty circumspect guy. This guy looks like he's done his due diligence here. They have the tape recordings. We heard some of the stuff in these tape recordings.
You should hear all of them, shouldn't you? Shouldn't you hear all of them? Shouldn't you hear the full context of every conversation? Isn't that the truth and the whole truth? Hearing every one of those conversations. The accused, me, is advocating you hear all of them. Right. The accuser is preventing that from being the case. It is upside down here.
This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like to me, because even in South Cook County, back when I was a kid, there were still farms out there, and I used to work on a farm, and we used to get the soil ready. And it feels like to me that you're trying to get the soil ready for your trial so that you'll get a more sympathetic hearing once you get to court.
Well, see, that question is upside down too. The accusers, Harry, the accusers said what they did at a super sensational press conference, where they falsely accused me of things that were not true. They got it completely upside down. One of us is not telling the truth. I was either trying to consummate a routine political deal that helped the most people in Illinois, the best deal I can get.
Because that's the big theme in the book, is it's all about I love the state, and it's all everything I did.
Play all the tapes.
For love. What I did for love, you could
play all the tapes. Play all the tapes.
Yeah.
And whatever happened to the presumption of innocence, when you're falsely accused of something, you and everyone else should at least sit back and hear all the evidence. No one has heard a shred of evidence yet. Those tapes will tell the story. The accused is asking that they be heard. The accuser went to court and is preventing them from being heard.
Have you been able to make a living?
Well, I wrote a book, and the book is what you talked about. The book begins the process of getting the truth out. I have a radio show, and I have a chance to be able to advocate for the causes I believe in, and actually go after what is, I believe, a corrupt status quo in Illinois politics today. And a status quo that I challenged every day as governor for 6 years. Here's another irony. For 6 years, I promised the people of Illinois I would not raise their taxes. I predicted, when all this was happening, that among the reasons why there was a rush to judgment to throw me out of office, to hijack me from office, by preventing me from proving my innocence, was that my successor was in on a political deal to raise taxes on the people. In less than 6 weeks, he proposed a 50% increase in the state income tax.
Let's talk about real reality here for a minute. Your trial starts. Have you thought about what life would be like for you in prison if, in fact, you get convicted?
Well, I know what the truth is, and I know I'll be vindicated, and I can't wait for my day in court. I wish it would have been this summer. I wish it would be tomorrow, because I know what the truth is. And a lot of the truth you'll hear in those taped conversations, every one of them, the full context of those. I'm human. Of course, sometimes you get those moments. I write in my book about glancing at my little 6-year-old sitting at her kindergarten graduation around the circle with her classmates and wondering whether or not I might not be able to see some of that as the years go on. But those are just little moments. I know what the truth is, and I'll be fully vindicated, and I can't wait for my fellow citizens to hear what all the truth is and have here an epic story. Because the bottom line here is, if those tapes show that I was doing the best for the people of Illinois, jobs and health care and no taxes, okay, then someone is lying, and it's not me, because there was no intention, nor was there any discussion of me selling ascendancy for financial gain, one for the other.
Former Governor Rod Blagojevich, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. We'll be right